hello to everyone. I'm Karmen, and as Erni said, I'm the program manager of Aparaaditehas Cultural Factory, as we call it. And today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how being a part of this international cultural network has benefited my organization and me personally. But first, a little bit about Aparaaditehas, my organization. Aparaaditehas translates to widget factory or gadget factory in English, or machine factory, and it's a creative hub or a culture factory that's housed in a former Soviet time factory building. It used to be quite a large factory with over 1,500 employees who produced all sorts of things from machine, engine parts and refrigerator details to, as you can see, umbrellas and can openers. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Aparaaditehas was also dismantled, and most of the buildings were left empty for nearly 25 years. And the regeneration of Aparaaditehas started when a group of real estate developers bought the place as an investment. They had no specific plans with it. But luckily, a group of creatives here in Tartu were looking for a new location for their artist studios and other creative ventures. And they found common ground with the owners who were open to the idea of developing this old factory building into this kind of a creative hub or a creative center. And so in 2014, the first tenants moved in and Aparaaditehas Culture Factory was born. Aparaaditehas is about 14,000 square meters big, and by today almost all of it is in use. And here you can see a list of an example of some of the tenants that we have at Aparaaditehas. We also have we host a wide variety of different cultural events, from art exhibitions to concerts to gallery nights to festivals to film screenings and much more. And we also have a factory cat. His name is Johannes Gutenberg, and he's probably the most famous cat in Tartu. Maybe you'll meet him tomorrow, I'm not sure. Since 2018, Aparaaditehas has been a member of Trans-Europol's cultural network. Trans-Europol's is one of Europe's most dynamic and oldest cultural networks. It has been at the forefront of repurposing old abandoned buildings for arts, culture and activism since 1983. So this year the network is celebrating its 40th birthday. And currently TH, as we call it for short, has over 140 members from 40 different European countries, and the network is constantly growing. A big part of what the network does is it hosts these biannual meetings. So 2 times a year, network members meet. We have a bigger conference in the springtime and a smaller, more intimate camp meeting in the autumn. And every time, the meetings are always held at one of our member centers. So it's an amazing opportunity to travel Europe and visit these different centers that are sometimes quite similar to ours and sometimes very, very different. The meetings are a hotbed for exchanging knowledge and ideas and connecting with other cultural change makers. Since the network has really grown in the past 5-6 years, in the recent years, TH has kind of decentralized its governance and turns its focus more on thematic and regional hubs through which we now operate more and more. And Aparaaditehas, for example, is a part of the Nordic-Baltic hub. We, in addition to those big meetings, we have our own meetings, we have our own ongoing projects and programs happening. What else does Trans-Europol do? The network leads and mediates different European Union projects and connects them to different members, TH advocates for its members. They are happy to meet different local and regional and national policymakers. They organize training workshops and seminars, lead capacity building programs, and a big part of TH is also their staff exchange program. So we've heard here today quite a lot about artist residencies. So, and it seems to be that there are quite a lot of options for creatives to find a residency to participate in. But there are a lot less similar options for cultural managers out there. And this is something that the staff exchange program hopes to tackle a little bit. The format is really simple. A staff member from one of the centers goes and visits and works at another center for a period of 1 to 4 weeks. And the goal is to foster professional development, to encourage knowledge exchange through action-based learning, and to motivate people. I have also had the chance to participate in the staff exchange. I spent a wonderful week at Aparaaditehas, or cable factory in Helsinki, Finland. And my staff exchange started the day after our biggest annual event in Aparaaditehas. Our Aparaaditehas festival had ended. And to be honest, I wasn't too keen on the idea of going somewhere else for a week. I had been working super hard for a month. I was exhausted, and I really just wanted to rest. But as it turned out, that week in Kaapeli really kind of helped to reset me in a way. So it wasn't a vacation. I was still working. I was answering my emails. I was having work-related conversations with my new colleagues at Kaapeli, attending meetings. They were picking my brain about how we do stuff here in Aparaaditehas. I helped them brainstorm some ideas for their center and so on. But it still gave me this amazing insight into how another similar organization works, but it also gave me this kind of perspective on how things are back home. And I definitely returned being more motivated, and somehow it wasn't a vacation, but it felt a little bit like a vacation. And what the staff exchange does for an individual of one member of the staff, I feel that these TH meetings do for the whole office staff, or for the people who attend the meetings. Here's a picture of me, my colleague Erki from Aparaaditehas, and 2 colleagues from Põhjala factory from Tallinn, which is a similar place to Aparaaditehas. And here we are at Timișoara, Romania, at one of TH's meetings. And the meetings themselves, they are very inspirational, educational. There are these very interesting talks, workshops, sessions, networking sessions happening. But what we found is that in addition to that, these meetings also work as a kind of like a team building weekend for our team. As many of you know, the culture field is underfunded, understaffed, the workload is huge, and so it can be really difficult to kind of find time for self-reflection and to find time for setting new goals or do some sort of strategic planning. And what we have found is that these meetings, these work trips, offer us, for our team, this opportunity. We are not behind our computers. We are still in a work-related environment that's very inspirational, but there's also a lot of traveling. There's a lot of just spending time together and talking. And I can definitely say that each time when we return, we feel more motivated and kind of have set some new goals for us. I hope I have sparked your interest in this amazing network of buildings and even more amazing people. And if I have, then I'm happy to announce that the next spring conference of this network of Trans-Europe Halls will take place here in Tartu, in Aparaaditehas. The conference is open to everyone, so I hope to see at least some of you in Aparaaditehas next June. Thank you.